In this video, we'll be talking about how we can improve the overall marketing for MyDNA. Now, first of all, we're going to look at the speed report. I can do this by pulling up the Lighthouse on the Google Chrome and run a performance report on the website. Now, I'll choose to run the performance report on the mobile. You could do that for the desktop as well, as you can see. But let's have a quick look at the speed aspect of this domain name. Now, bear in mind that speed plays a crucial role in terms of your rankings because obviously the faster the website is, the higher the chance of Google crawling it more and then showing you higher in the search results. As you can see, the score here is 28 out of 100. The first contentful paint, which is when you can see here in the thumbnails, when the website begins to paint, is at about 3.6 seconds. And time to interactive, which is when all the interactive elements on the page load up, which is, say, for an example, drop-down menus or sliders or any other carousels, accordions, and other elements on the page that load up. So that's 13.9 seconds. For every second that you increase beyond the 3-second mark, your conversion rate drops by about 50%. So you'd obviously want to focus on improving the speed of the site. Google also gives you some recommendations. For an example, it says eliminate render blocking resources. It's saying that you're loading some CSS at the top of the page, saying you're loading some fonts in here, some icons in here, some animation CSS, loading WooCommerce scripts at the top, even the composer. It's also saying that you can shave off 1.2 seconds simply by removing unused CSS. So there's quite a bit of CSS loading in there, which could obviously be minified and compiled into one single file to be loaded. There's a lot of images that are not deferred. They're loaded to the top of the page. They're not reduced either in size. Quite a few in here at 197 KB, 28 KB. So it's saying, again, you can shave 1.5 seconds simply by deferring the screens by using a lazy load sort of a plugin. And it's also given you some other recommendations, as in reducing the third-party code, reducing the JavaScript execution time, and a few other things that you can obviously look at. You can run the same report for the desktop version of the site, and obviously, you want to aim the score for the score to be about the 70-75 mark to improve the overall efficiency of the site. Now, bear in mind that if the speed of the site is faster, Google can also crawl more pages. And if Google can crawl more pages, then it believes that you're playing by the rules that it's established, thereby, giving your website more weight in the search results. So that's a bit about the speed. Now, let's do a quick Google search for all the URLs for the domain name mydna.live. Now, I've pulled that using this site operator, and I've pulled up all the results. As you can see at the bottom, all the results that Google's indexed for MyDNA. Now, we obviously want to look at this because we want to work out if there's any duplicate content or content that we can fix so that Google can crawl the website better. Now, if I scroll to page number 8, you can see there's a page here, which is the pharmacist page titled Homepage. You can also see that there's some general pages. For an example, there's a Hello World page in here. You can see that's loading up. So obviously, Google's crawling this page and knows that Hello World is a very common thing that people do when they begin a new program or a code or a website, and it sees that you haven't done a bit of house cleaning in there. So obviously there's some issues with some of the pages not being deleted, some of the redundant pages in there, with some of the stuff that could be fixed, overall in terms of how Google's crawled your site. Now, in addition to this, we're going to look at the structure of how the structure of the site is. So I'm going to utilize this web developer extension to first do a document outline. The document outline is basically how the page is laid out, the hierarchy of the page, and how Google perceives the hierarchy of this page. So let's do a quick one. As you can see, the document outline shows that we have plenty of titles on the page. Improve your health and fitness with our DNA-powered meals and workouts is in H1. So Quick rundown on H1 on heading tags. Heading tags range from H1 to H6. With H1 being the most powerful on the page, accurately describing what the page is about, or should describe what the page is about, and H6 being uh, the least powerful. Following H6, you have paragraph text, a P tag, which indicates that that's the content on the page. You can see that the H1 includes the terminology DNA-powered meals and workouts and health and fitness, but doesn't actually talk about the tests or the keyword related to tests. It's also missing a form of hierarchy because H2 seems to be missing, followed by an H3 tag. There's plenty of H2s. You want to stick to maybe one or two H2s in a page and only one H1 on a page. There's plenty of H3s. They're all names of people. You're telling Google that the names of these people are very critical and very relevant to this page, which they're not. Obviously, these are just names of people. And then a lot of your headings are in H4, fat storage, recovery, weight retention, appetite and craving. So these are the actual sort of keywords, caffeine, metabolism, that you'd want to target on this page. You want to bring in traffic. People look for these words. You want to bring them into this page, but you've actually got them as an H4 tag. So how would you go about improving this page? So in order to improve this page, first of all, you would make sure that the page is laid out from an H1 to an H3 tag, with H1 being the most important, accurately describing what mydna.life does in the keyword that it wants to target for the homepage. H2 could be utilized to maybe have your 30 seconds elevator pitch, accurately describing what the business is, what it sells, what are the value propositions. And H3 further compounding upon the value propositions that you would have laid out in the H2 tag. You then want to have all these names into a P tag, making sure that Google doesn't see them as extremely important in the scheme of things of this page. So that's a bit about the titles and the description, and you could basically repeat this across all the pages. If you go into some other pages and you pull up the document outline on these ones, again, you see there's plenty of opportunity for fixing the H2s and H3 missing headings. Obviously, improving the H1 tags on all of these pages. Now, further to this, we're doing a quick density check on the page itself. To the home page, we're just going to do a link test. So view link information. There's about 67 links emanating from this page going out either to internal pages or to external pages. Now, if we were to think of this page as an authority of one, every external link that is on that page is responsible for leaking a bit of an authority. When I say leaking it, I actually mean that it takes away a bit of an authority. So you want to reduce the amount of external links that you have on this page to a bare minimum, and focus on improving the internal links. You don't want to be able to leak out a lot of your authority to external pages, and by preserving a lot of this authority for internal links, you would thereby increase the chances of you going higher up in the search engines. So it's a very brief overview of some of the challenges, the technical challenges, the speed challenges, and the crawlability challenges. And obviously, there's heaps many more that we can do to improve the conversion on this site.